Hi everyone, it's Charlie coming at you with a hot take about Epcot. The food at Epcot is awful, terrible, abominable. Now that is not talking about the food and wine festival because that shit bangs. I'm talking about the actual restaurants in Epcot. I think they all suck fuck. But I want to say the best part about Epcot is something I think we can all agree on. It's Spaceship Earth. That's the ride inside that giant golf ball where it takes you through the wild and wacky world of 1982, where you sit in the slowest moving vehicle humans have ever created, just moves slow as shit through these old animatronics where they go through the history of communication, and it all leads up to the far off future of what if you had a computer, and what is a computer. But what really gets my dick hard about Spaceship Earth is that it breaks down every single time you go on it. I swear to God, this bitch breaks down 5, 6, 20 times a day. It's more of a feature at this point and less of a bug. When you're going on Spaceship Earth, account for a 30-minute delay for the ride's breakdown that's inevitably going to happen while you're on it. I've never ridden Spaceship Earth without it breaking down. So at this point, it's really just part of the experience. But anyway, let's get back to the topic of Epcot's restaurant food being absolutely inedibly terrible shit. In yesterday's official podcast episode titled Jackson Quits Again, we talked about Epcot, Andrew and I did, because we had both recently gone to Epcot and we're just utterly disappointed with how bad the food is. This was Andrew's first time eating at one of the restaurants there, and I don't think he was prepared for the level of food quality you get. I've been multiple times over the last 2 years, and every single time going to a restaurant was truly miserable and left the shittiest taste in my mouth. I would have rather rim jobbed the chef than eaten the food that they gave us. And I don't even blame the staff, because I'm pretty sure it's Epcot's policy to just destroy the food that you order just to make sure there's no chance of foodborne illness. So let me play you a clip from the podcast.
Oh, we didn't even talk about our dinner. We only mentioned that it sucked. Fucking Italy. Good God. Good fucking Lord. Good fucking God. How does a restaurant that's supposed to be Italy just serve shit worse than Olive Garden? Here's your breadsticks, and they give you prepackaged breadsticks.
Yeah, they actually give you store-bought breadsticks, and when they give you like bread, like how most Italian places give you little appetizer bread before anything, it's hard as a fucking brick. It is the stalest, oldest, it's genuinely like chewing glass with almost as much flavor. It's unfucking real.
How the fuck did they get away with that? And also it's expensive as shit. You sit down and almost all of us got the special, which was chicken Alfredo. And it was a single chicken breast, which was very small and extremely dry, and a generic Alfredo pasta for $30.
I don't like when people say that it's dry because that makes us sound pretentious. When we say dry, imagine like if someone took a chicken, froze it after it's already been cooked, and then ran it over with a car tire. It is so fucking bad.
It was miserable.
Terrible. Terrible. And it's not just Italy that's suck and fuck at Epcot. I went to the hibachi place in Japan before this one. It was like 8 months ago. The hibachi place had I had to watch them ruin chicken, rice, and vegetables in front of me since it's hibachi. They cook it on the fucking grill in front of you, as hibachi chefs are known to do, but they overcook it for like 10 minutes. As your chicken's going from like a nice moist center, I'm watching it dry out, whittle away, and turn to this cadaver of a chicken breast. This fucking Frankenstein's little monster zombie here of chicken in front of me, as the rice is off to the side getting turned into like fucking mashed up sandpaper. It's terrible.
Do you think it's maybe
awful.
just they cook the shit out of everything to avoid lawsuits from like food poisoning?
Yeah. 100%. It's to avoid foodborne illnesses. Oh, and when I ate at France, I got a medium rare steak. I'm not a big meat eater or a red meat eater anymore, but when I do, it's medium rare. I got a medium rare steak, and that shit came out looking like something you'd find in a sewer. It was still somehow like turbo well done and passed off as my medium rare steak that I ordered. It's fucking incredible. It was like Santa Claus gave me a lump of coal for being a naughty Epcot boy. It was miserable. Fucking miserable.
Why do you keep going back? All of these stories like, yeah, 8 months ago I went, and then 6 months ago it also sucked, and then yesterday it really sucked, and that was extra expensive.
Well,
I'm going next month. I bet it's gonna suck.
To be fair to us, Jackson was visiting, and Disney is the only place that has Star Wars World.
Yeah, Epcot wasn't the plan. We were gonna spend the day at Disney, but Disney was so crowded and so shitty we needed a fallback. So Epcot was only a small gondola ride away, so it only made sense to go. And plus, we were all hungry, and everything in Star Wars World had an hour-long wait just to get fast food that's fried in the fucking garbage can.
God.
So we went to Epcot. For the price of the meals and the quality of the meals, it's an absolute scam. I've eaten at a bunch of those different restaurants at Epcot from a ton of different regions that are represented, and all of them have one thing in common. They all suck ass, and the food is dreadfully overprepared. Not just the meat, but every component of the dish is so unbelievably overcooked, I don't know how it could even be considered a meal at that point. At that point, it's just basically dog food. It's not good at all. Now, I've never sent back a meal in my life. I've never complained about food at a restaurant, and I never will. But when you're eating that food, you can literally taste the waste of money. It's just terrible. It really is. It's just somehow, when all plans fail in Orlando, all roads lead to Epcot's utter disappointment just to seal it with a nice shit cherry on top. It's not like I'm planning to go to Epcot for these awful, godforsaken meals that look like something out of a Fallout universe.
That's awesome.
Jesus Christ, I'd rather be eating the fucking bottle caps than the food they serve at Epcot.
Restaurant inspections, sneak your way into the kitchen. Look at these conditions, there's cockroaches and shit. To blow the case wide
If there's
open.
cockroaches, I'd prefer they just throw those on the grill than what they're serving up currently.
Feel cultured about eating food from different cultures, but you know they still get the overcooked American style garbage.
That was a good question I had while we were there. It's like, do some of these people feel demeaned? Does this feel weird? Because in Epcot, every culture, for the most part, the people who work there are from that place. Like, if you go to the Italian restaurant, everyone who works there is from Italy. But isn't this just kind of like a song and dance, like from the 50s, where it's like, look at the strange new cultures? Like,
I thought of that too, especially because of our waiter. He had to keep saying "Mamma Mia." Like it's Super Mario. That's not a joke. He said it at least 5 or 6 times. Like, it's great to like go look at like the replicas of Italy, but I don't want to go in and feel like I'm walking into stereotypes. It's weird.
That's exactly.
Because it's fucking Disney. I don't get it, man. I don't know how they're getting away with this food. It's a hate crime on a plate. It's terrible. And yeah, that's the other thing about Epcot restaurants. It feels really weird. These people have to be like a caricature of the places they're from. Like, I don't think this guy naturally says Mamma Mia all the time. After pretty much every order we placed, he said, Mamma Mia, that's a good choice. And that feels just super uncomfortable to be around, because it's like they're instructing him to say these things, that this is part of his script. You have to be the most Italian stereotype possible. And it's not just Italy. This was in all the other restaurants as well. It just, I don't know, something about that just rubs me the wrong way. They're making it like a circus act. Like, hey, look at these circus freaks. They're not from America. Look where they're from. Listen to how they talk. Some weird shit. It's not like offensive or anything, I just think it's fucking weird. But yeah, by far the worst part about Epcot's food is the food itself. It's just terrible. It's awful, awful, awful food. I don't know, maybe I've just gotten unlucky for the last 2 years in the numerous times I've been, but I find that hard to believe that it'd be that bad every single time in all those different regions. But again, Food and Wine Festival is probably about the only thing worthwhile at Epcot besides Spaceship Earth anyway, so if you're going when it's not Food and Wine Festival time, you're wasting your time anyway. But anyway, that's it. See ya.